Well, like many teams after week 4, I'm officially in a bad spot. Luckily, I put in a call to Fox's Animal Control, which you can binge on Hulu in January.
Yeah! Hi!
It's Joel McHale, everyone.
Oh my gosh, the weather. Am I right?
Well,
Look, I was in the neighborhood to see why Gino wasn't higher on the mountain.
okay, so.
And I can see you've gotten yourself in quite a pickle.
Yes, we're looking for some advice since you're an animal expert.
No sudden movements either.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go with the no.
Stop moving! And look, he's talking. I'm afraid that he's frozen to death. All right, I'm getting it out. Help solve TV's tastiest crimes on an all-new Crime Scene Kitchen, Thursdays on Fox. Also, check out Animal Control on Hulu. 3rd season starting in January. I'm leaving. Let's go, guy. Let's do it. Let's go, buddy. Thank you for having me.
I mean, that's all time Kevin Wildes. And I would like, if I may, it takes a true team player when you are the somewhat tall, somewhat good-looking, somewhat funny guy to bring a taller, better-looking, funnier guy on camera next to you for the sake of the show. More success, all of the above. It's just like you had you reached your full genetic and career potential.
Also, it's a home game for me.
Yeah, exactly right. So I really greatly appreciate that. He really is. He's a legend in the field. All right, time now, and thank you, Joel McHale, for Mahomes Mountain. Of course, 28 quarterbacks make the mountain, which means at least 4 do not. So here's who's off the mountain. And listen, Jacoby, they probably shouldn't be starting anymore. Deshaun definitely shouldn't be starting. Tyler Huntley, you did your best. And I hear them rounding up the St. Bernards to get Will Levis even off the base of the mountain, bring him some hot chocolate and see what's next for the young man. Row 7. Listen, I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts. But you can't just turn the ball over every week. You flatly can't turn the ball over every single week. The sample's too large now to have the Super Bowl glow still shine on you. Gardner back on the mountain. By the way, he only fell off the mountain because it seemed like Antonio Pierce was going to take a poll amongst the players, see if he should bench him. So I didn't know if he was starter anymore. Trevor, there was a moment there where I thought he was going to upset CJ and climb a row. Sadly, no, of course not. Anthony Richardson, I believe, leads the league in yards per attempt and his dead last in completion percentage, which I didn't think was mathematically possible, but I do believe that's the case. Row 6, Aaron Rodgers, my oh my. Facts are facts, though. He's played like a row 6 quarterback. Look at the guys alongside him. I mean, that's the level he's played. I have a question. Kyler Murray, why aren't you better? Because when he looks good, I'm like, this guy's awesome. And then I worry about him getting hurt, but he's healthy. He's got Marvin Harrison. He scored 14 points against the worst defense in football. So I don't quite get it. Yeah. Derek and Kirk stay where they are. Caleb, I thought, played his best game, but not good enough to move up, obviously. Justin Fields, I thought, played his best game. They lost. He had the one fumble. He stays where he is. All right, now to the top 15 guys. Welcome back, Jordan Love. So I didn't really know where to put Jordan. He had missed time. He obviously had a rough first half, but then a much better second half. This feels like a good starting point for him. Listen, Brock Purdy has played really well these last few weeks without the full complement of Avengers. I think you'll see when you see the people above him, I really couldn't move him higher, but I think he's played well. And Sam Darnold started the season off the mountain.
Yeah.
Then was row 7, then row 6, now all the way to row 5, slow and steady. Justin Herbert, I don't know. He's fine. He got banged up. It was good for him to play. And listen, Dak actually played well on Thursday against the Giants. So it was less about his performance dropping him and more some of the people beneath him on the mountain had great performances this week, so he was kind of the victim of that. Row 4. All right, listen, I hate to drop Matt Stafford. You guys know how much affection I have for him, but he threw a terrible interception in the end zone that got called off because the guy had stepped out of bounds. Then he threw another bad interception when they had a chance to win the game. He's got to drop. I thought Geno played awesome last night. 400 total yards. I know he throws the pick at the end, down 13, doesn't really matter. I thought he played great. Jared Goff played even better. And Baker's cooking. This is now a 12-game sample of Baker just cooking, so he moves up. Now to row 3. Josh Allen slips just a bit. Not much, but just a bit after a tough game against Baltimore. So here's the test C.J. Stroud passed this weekend. Believe it or not, I was rooting for the Jacksonville Jaguars in that game. And C.J. got the ball down 3 with 4 minutes left. And I'm like, oh, Jags aren't going to win, and it's not going to overtime. He's just going to win the game. And so he stays where he is. And, you know, Wild's arch nemesis, evidently, Joe Cool, Joe Burrow.
Beat the Panthers.
I mean, he played great. He's played excellent this year since other than week 1. And now listen to road 2. So Lamar stays where he is. And here's the thing about the rich tapestry that is Mahomes Mountain. If 100% of your NFL career you've been awesome, we've got to put you high. Jayden Daniels, I don't think he'll stay there, and I don't think he is. If I were ranking quarterbacks, like who do you want for the next 10 years, I don't think I'd have him 3rd. But he's played 4 NFL games. He's been awesome in 4 NFL games. He's where he is, and of course Patrick stays at the top. So there is Mahomes Mountain heading into week 5. Coach, compliments, please.
It's better. It's better.
I tried to appeal to Coach's ego by putting Jayden so high.
No,
He's the Jayden guy.
And here's the thing: is no one's been a bigger fan of Jayden than I have, and what he's done in this early part of his career has been impressive and in some ways unprecedented. But he doesn't have enough of a rich tapestry to be this high on Mahomes Mountain this early. And then the other guy is Baker Mayfield. I love his story. I love how far he's come. But he's too high in place of the guy that I'm going to move up, which is Sam Darnold. Yeah. Okay, and let's just take a look at what Sam Darnold did this past week versus Baker and versus Jayden Daniels. So when you look at just from a completion percentage standpoint, wasn't as good as Daniels, but it was better than Baker. Yards, he's better than Daniels. Okay, a little bit less than Baker. More TDs than either one of them. A better passer rating than both of them. Okay, so that's what he did. That's part of this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at him over the course of the season. He's the only guy that's 4-0.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at his quarterback rating. It's 118.9. Look at how many TDs he has. It's 11 TDs. I love the story that Baker has, but you got to give Sam Darnold more credit for his redemption story than you're giving right now, and you got to bring Jayden down a little bit. I mean, you are the guy that put Caleb on the mountain last year, higher than he currently is now. Yeah. So I get that you'd like to jump the gun.
Okay, all right.
It's a little
listen,
unfair.
No need to attack me.
Well,
we can just keep it professional.
I'm just reminding the viewers.
And talk about Sam Darnold. The viewers remember quite well that Caleb Williams was scaling the side of Mahomes Mountain, as he will throughout the course of this year and his rise back to the top. So you're right, Coach. If Sam Darnold didn't have 6 years of a career prior to this season, I would have him higher. But he does.
He's 8-2 in his last 10 starts. He was 4-2 in Carolina. But
I guess
that's when he took the job.
Right,
I guess we're not counting about that tapestry.
So here's the reason you're right. I'm not counting the Carolina thing. Because, wow, he was the quarterback in Carolina last year? It's like, no, actually that was 2 years ago. So wait, after going 4-2 in Carolina or 6-2, there was not a team in the league that would be like, hey, compete for a starting job? The answer was no, there wasn't.
I guess they regret that, don't they?
Well, I don't know.
Carolina probably regrets it now.
Whether they do or they don't, the point that I'm making is I feel like Sam Darnold was really good in Carolina is one of those many things that is belied by the fact those games were on television. And, like, he wasn't really good in Carolina. They won some games, and he had a nice little stretch where he was running the football. This year, he's been awesome. There's no denying it, which is why he has risen. He's the only quarterback, other than Jayden, to rise every week. I think that's worth something.
He played better than Baker, but he's lower than Baker. You have a love affair with Baker.
No, that's not true. It's not true. I don't know that I agree with you that he's played better than Baker in the context of the games and what the teams are asking from him. I don't know that. Okay. Well, it's certainly not quarterback wins mountain. No. I'll tell you that much right now.
And all his other stats, but we'll forget about that.
Listen, he's played really well. He's rising. Go ahead, bro.
Coach stole a little of my thunder, but I'm going to focus on Jayden. And look, I know Coach loves Jayden. He did pick him to win the division, so I gotta submit to that. But when Coach isn't here, Jayden's my guy. You got Caleb, and you got Drake May.
That's
right. This You got Caleb and you got Drake.
And I've
like
got
Jayden.
Jayden. You have Bo Nix.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think I've uttered those two words.
Commanders in the playoffs
Bo
because of
Nix.
Jayden.
Yeah. But Coach, when he's not here,
So
weeks
all right,
he's
so
not
great.
here,
So hold
I
on. So we've got it clear. Jayden's your
Jayden
guy.
should be higher or should be lower.
Well, now it makes no sense.
No.
Now
As
it
much
makes
as I
no
love
sense.
him, this is just a bridge too far.
Then
all right?
he's not your guy.
I keep it honest. I'm about tough love and constructive criticism.
Good job.
We don't want Jayden getting too big. Coaches, the Jayden guy too. He said the same thing. Look, he's been phenomenal. I mean,
Phenomenal.
82% completions. But Arizona, who he definitely lit it up against, is 29th in the league in points allowed.
Because they played him.
Cincinnati, not just because that Cincinnati's 27th.
Because he scored 38
points
on them.
allowed. All right.
I mean, that's part of
And
it.
Josh Allen, who's somehow beneath Jayden, I don't understand how, he was better against Arizona. We know he was great in the other games, Josh Allen, but he was better against Arizona. Yeah, common opponent. Jayden had one touchdown passing, one rushing, one interception against Arizona. Josh Allen had no interceptions, 2 passing TDs and 2
Josh
rushing
Allen was
TDs.
awesome.
And he's got a higher passer rating for the season.
Wait, hold on.
How is Josh Allen not higher than Jayden Daniels?
Because hold on, and I have been very pro Josh Allen this year. Josh Allen has had 2 nothing games. They've played 4. The game
Nothing games?
Yes, the game against Miami he had like 140 yards. He didn't have to do anything. That's fine. And the game against Baltimore, he wasn't very good. He was he was
wasn't
excellent
bad
in week 1,
in either
and
game.
he was perfect.
He was very good in he's got
week
more
1 and 3.
touchdowns than Jayden.
Jayden has 7.
He's got 7
Josh-
passing touchdowns and no interceptions.
Yes.
So Jayden's got the interception,
Okay,
3 passing touchdowns.
I think that
like to say he's ahead of Josh Allen right now is.
I think Jayden Daniels
early.
has been
that's
A- to A+ in all 4 of his games. I think Josh Allen has been A+, then got an N/A for the Dolphins game because he didn't have to do
he
anything.
did what he had to do.
Well, he had 140 yards. And that's what we talked about after the game was that they're running the ball. It's James Cook. Then he got an A+ for the Jags game. And then what would you give him for the Ravens game, Brew? A C? A C in that game? Yeah. They lost 35-10.
But overall, I think he's been better than Jayden.
Okay.
And again, it's not like Stroud should be Jayden.
And it is a rich tapestry.
It is.
Josh Allen has a lot more history.
Yes.
Absolutely, it is a rich
Is
tapestry.
this your first day on Mahomes Mountain?
Yeah,
You guys
I
are all
don't
over the
understand.
map.
I mean, listen.
You're talking about 2 years ago, and then you're talking about week 1 in the Cardinals.
You're talking about common opponents.
Common opponents.
What is this? MLB tiebreakers?
They're called facts.
The tapestry is rich.
Right.
Weaved over
When
time.
we bring up the when Nick brings up the pass, it's fine.
It's my mountain.
It's a rich tapestry.
Thank you, Wilds,
Yes.
for getting it.
It's a rich tapestry.
Now, to make matters more confusing, I'm putting a guy who hasn't even played in the last few weeks on the mountain, Tua, belongs on the mountain. Everyone, I was saying, I had the Dolphins going to the Super Bowl. You know why? Because I believed in Tua. And everybody told me, no, he's system quarterback. It's Mike McDaniel. It's Tyreek Hill. It's the running game. Blah, 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 blah. Well, let's look. Tua leaves, and what happens? Well, here's what's happened historically with Mike McDaniel.
Fall off the map.
With games started by Tua and games started by somebody else. With Tua, he's 20-12 without 1-5. Okay, that's how it goes sometimes, sure. Let's look at this year since
That
Tua
offense
has
is
been out.
crazy.
Last in almost everything. Last in points, 31st year. Nothing works. I know we got to give Tyreek Hill $30 million and Jalen Waddle all this money. It doesn't work without Tua. It doesn't. So everybody needs to give Tua their flowers and also apologize for me. Apologize to me for believing in Tua and telling you that Tua was the engine that made the whole Dolphin system work. Me and the Dolphins front office is the only one that thought it. And you might be asking, that guy's not even playing right now. He's recuperating.
Right.
Who are you going to remove from the mountain from a guy who hasn't even played? Well, I'm glad you asked. Dusty? I'm not going. You know what? It's not the trash hour necessarily, but just because we brought the buglers out doesn't mean I can still get a few more shots in while the guy's on the ground. Hasn't won in 9 games. Deshaun Watson's off the mountain.
Yeah.
Prince is still on. You know why? Still for 2 more yards. Those 2 yards get you on the mountain.
That's not a bad point.
Guess what his completion percentage is, Brew? I'll give you a hint. If this was, I don't even know.
55%.
Not even, 53%.
Wow.
Okay.
Passer rating 26. off the mountain. If he loses 10
You
straight
don't
games,
get to do 2.
I'm replacing him. Because I do
with
it, and they're like,
Tua.
who do you want to replace?
Okay.
The guy who hasn't won since
All
last
right, I
Thanksgiving.
don't even want to. Okay, listen. You have a well-known anti-English bias, and so that is where you go against Trevor, who's, by the way, everybody
Home
knows
game.
Jags season doesn't start until they go to England.
have to stay there.
Yeah, so I have a question real quick on Tua, because I think you make a super compelling case. So you're saying because the team's performance drops massively when he's not there, it shows his unique value and skill set. Correct? Is that correct? I'm asking a question. Is that correct?
No, you're trying to trick me.
I'm asking a question
I'm
because
trying to go
in
through my
theory,
tape that he's gonna, like,
in
steal.
theory, if the Dolphins, like, if we were skeptical about Tua,
Yes.
and then they
Yes,
added
that's
a guy.
my general take.
I don't know,
But
like,
it's only,
Cincinnati
it only
didn't
adheres to
fall
this
off that way.
particular team.
But
Not
if the
another.
opposite had happened, if the Dolphins just were rolling with Skylar Thompson or, say, the last pick of the draft or whatever, we would then think, oh, okay, it's a system
That would
thing
be a
and the
fair
talent.
line of
Okay,
rationale.
all right, that's cool. You make a compelling point that I would listen to. I like that line of logic.
He's setting it up for.
No, I think he makes a good
Yeah,
point.
Brady's going
I think he makes
the
a good
Bengals,
point.
to you, this is some ammo for you. When Joe Burrow went out last year, they still played well with Browning.
Oh, I know.
So just keep that in
But then
the
they kind of fell off.
back of your head.
I'm not taking
Back
shots
of
at
your
Joe
mind.
Burrow for no
What?
reason.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, he's got one win.
No.
Let's go to break.
I'm just giving you a little fire.
We did well here. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.